Welcome to Dare We Said It,
a podcast of two friends talking sex and everything around it.
We are your hosts, Giulia
and Alisa,
and today's episode is about awkward sex. Is there actually such a thing as awkward sex?
I think yes.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of awkward sex.
Yeah, you said that before, like sex is awkward.
I think sex is awkward.
Yeah.
To start with.
It is. So today we'll find the ways in which we have dealt with awkwardness during sex. How do we approach it? What do we laugh about it? Do we make a big deal out of it? And so on and so forth. We will both look at our own experiences, but also at some of the things that we have collected on our Instagram account. Some of our friends who share their experiences with us as well. So all these things in one. We also divided into normal segments we have. We will have one covering more the foreplay or before sex acts, one looking at the act in itself, which is also kind of like blurry, but still, and then one looking at after sex awkwardness. So it's going to be a very conversational episode. We're going to have a lot of chit-chatting, laughs, and weirdness.
We didn't prepare crazy much for this one. It's more like a fun.
Yeah.
Let's tell each other some.
It's like a before holiday kind of.
Yeah,
vibe.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's a treat for you guys.
Nice.
Little disclaimer that we always want to add is whilst we talk about many topics and welcome others to ask us for our views or even advice, we're no doctors, no psychologists, or professionally trained sex therapists. What we can offer you is our perspectives with total honesty and zero judgment, most of the time.
So we titled our first segment, When the Foreplay is Off. And we have a few things we want to discuss in this one. First of all, body consciousness. And that's something that came up a lot in our Instagram account, for example. Just the idea of feeling awkward about yourself, what your body looks like, some fat on your stomach, and whatever else comes up. And I think for me that was a huge thing as well, especially after I broke up with my ex-boyfriend. And like having relied on him to validate my looks and my body in many different ways, and quite wrongly as well. So getting out of that and then starting sleeping with other people, I really felt that I was like lying in specific positions so that my stomach wouldn't show or that my boobs would look in a specific way and so on and so forth. So I really see how many people just talked about this.
Yeah, I think this is also something a little bit what we touched upon in the first episode of our show, where we kind of compared then and now, and I think we both learned more about like being just confident in the bodies that we have. And I think also through my last relationship I learned just being confident in my body and I think afterwards, like I noticed that when I had sex with other people that it really changed me, this relationship, or maybe it was just my age, or I don't know.
I wonder if it's like the more you do it, the better you become at it. Sometimes I feel like I fake it till I make it. So I fake that I feel confident and I'm loving those parts of my body, and then I'm like, the more I pretend to do it, the more I learn how to do it. Or is it because now I'm in a specific situation in which I'm validated quite often, and then it's easier to get out to see other people and feeling good about myself. Like
and it's again it's just in your head, right? Like just because you tell yourself, you say fake it till you make it, just because you tell yourself, oh, now what do you tell yourself when you try to fake it? Like, oh no, I look good whatever, and then but the actual outcome or the actual sex is not actually, like, nothing is different. It's all just in your head, right?
And I think feeling it really helps as well. So like, even if you're faking to love a part of your body, feeling how you feel when you do love yourself, I think feels really empowering. And then from there on, it's just like you want that feeling again. So like you necessarily just start to loving yourself a bit more. I'm
so happy I learned to love my body, and because in the beginning I was always like covering myself up right after sex, and now it's like can sit with my boobs out and my pussy out, and like we can have dinner afterwards, but while being naked or whatever.
I think it also changed a lot for me since I started sleeping with some girls as well, because it just made me feel like, wow, we're all so different, and there are so many.
Yeah.
Like, I get so inspired by how confident people feel and look, and they're like, this is me and this is who I am, and whatever. We're here to like have pleasure and enjoy each other's company and have a good time, not to like look and like you're not really often turned on by how perky a boob is, or like how, I don't know, a butt
maybe in the
looks like.
first instance, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe the first thing that attracts you is like the other day. Oh my god, we were I love these moments. We were at Julia's place because she has to renovate her apartment, and we had to help, or like we were helping you move some stuff, and then you were like, guys, come here, and then we ran to the window, and she was like, look there. And it was like across the street in the other building, there were these two beautiful men working out, like having a home gym in their apartment, but like upper body naked, just these super like masculine, young, beautiful guys, you know, and just crunching their abs and like showing off and looking at themselves and flexing in the mirror. And we were just sitting there, and like for 20 minutes we were just staring at them and sobbing. But honestly, it's not it's not the better you look, the better sex you're gonna, or the better you are.
How it would have been, you know, probably just like nothing special at all. Well, you'll never know.
Yeah. Anyways, next point is let's talk about kissing.
Oh, kissing.
So that comes before sex, right? Right? I mean, that's often, most of the time. I have one story where I went on a date with this guy who was actually a dad, and he was like over 40 years. So you remember I told you that he asked me out. I was swimming outside by the water, and like he came over to me, and his kid was sitting there, and he really made sure that he told me that he's divorced and everything, and I was like, okay, cool. And then we talked for an hour, then he gave me his number, and then we went on a date, and like I told you about him, and he's coming from a like Latin American country,
and I was like,
like huge expectations, right? Like he knows what he's gonna do, he knows how to touch you and tell you, and so I spent this date with him, and it was really nice. We had really good conversations. Obviously, older people have a lot of cool things to talk about, right? And then and then we ended up actually going for a dip, and then finally he came to me and he was like, oh, let me kiss you. And then we kissed, and it was, from the first second, it was the worst kiss I've ever had in my life, and I was so shocked. How can this man go through life and be so bad at making out? Like, never ever anyone have told him how to do it better, or I don't know. Like, I can't imagine that anyone would enjoy the way that he kisses.
It's crazy. And also, like, sometimes you're maybe, okay, I'm gonna push through, maybe the sex is better, at least I try to do that, you know? Maybe they'll surprise me somehow, but most of the times, if the kissing is not right, then it's not. Yeah,
I didn't even, actually, because of the kissing, I also didn't sleep with him. I mean, not just because, but that was like huge turn off for me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna go home.
Because it is such a big part for at least our arousal. I don't know if it's for everyone or for most girls and people in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really just doesn't click. It just doesn't work. But sometimes I've had good sex with bad kissing, or like decent sex with good bad kissing. But yeah, it changes. But the touching as well can sometimes be off.
Yeah, it's both like just feeling the other person out and seeing how the other person responds. If I just, how do you say, like jump back, or like I move my head completely to the side because your mouth is like way too much in my nose or whatever, then maybe like I hope you get a hint.
Yeah.
But some people just don't.
And I think the awkwardness comes from this, like, maybe feeling the vibe before you get on it with the foreplay, and then getting on it and feeling like, this is just not, like, how do I get out of this, right? And how do you usually get out of it? Do you, like, stop it completely? Do you say something about it? Do you tell them, like, do this, do that, or
Yeah, with the kissing, I thought because he's so much older, like, what can I tell him?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, I don't want to teach him. Like, he's almost double my age.
yeah.
And no, we made out a little more, or like, I don't know. And then at some point, I was like, yeah, let's go to yours. And then while we were walking, I was like, nah, I actually like that kissing ruined it for me. And then we ended up going to his door or something, and I was like, actually, I think I'm gonna head home. And he was super nice about it, and
Yeah.
he still texts me sometimes.
And you're like, no, sorry.
But no, not interested anymore. Yeah. Then another point was fear of rejection.
Yeah. I
have a story
usually,
on that?
yeah. I have this mostly, I feel very awkward with girls still.
Yeah.
And I think it's mostly because I'm, first of all, not used to do the first move. Like, I can flirt with guys and kind of like lure them to make the first move.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't myself, or like I rarely myself made the first move. So that's already like the disclaimer, right? And then with girls, it's even more awkward because I'm like, is it like friendly? Is it more than that? Are we like into
Are we
each
dating
other?
or
Yeah.
what are we doing here?
Are we just getting a coffee today?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I never make the first move, and I
Yeah.
really don't know how to. And I think it was even more awkward when I was in a threesome a few weeks ago. And it was really clear that everyone was really into doing it. And I was supposed to be the one who made the first move just to kind of like initiate things. And I still couldn't do it. I was
Yeah,
just trying
right.
to touch her leg and be like, hey,
Come here.
But then also like she pulled her legs up
Yeah.
after I did that. So I was like, oh, okay, she doesn't want to be touched, right?
Yeah.
So I just stopped and I was like, does she not want to do it? Like I was really trying to read her body language.
Yeah, exactly. We read body language.
Right?
Because we're more susceptible to like cues, physical cues or whatever. And then we react to that.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, I mean, I have never been a man in my life, so I can only. But I'm saying, like, I want to say
that.
women are a little bit more complex in that sense and can just react more, like, they're just more fine-tuned and feeling the other person out.
Yeah.
But
so that was a bit awkward.
yeah.
I had to say something like, it's so hard to make a move. And then she kind of like made the move. So yeah.
I actually maybe I can tell the story that I told you about today as well with the girl. Like I have also very, very little experience with girls, and I still like it's still something that I really want to do, and I want to date more girls, but I just don't know how, and it's so complicated with guys. You just you can play around a little bit, and you know how they're gonna react, because you kind of know what guys think, like you know what to say to make them react in a certain way or ask you out or whatever.
Easy.
But with girls, oh my god, it's like two of yourself. It's so complicated, and then you have to like. But no, anyways, I was in a like maybe she's gonna listen to this podcast one day. No, I went to like a little bookstore here, and there was this girl who was selling the books, and we were the only ones in the room, or the only ones in the bookstore. And then I thought she was really cute, and I thought I got the vibe that she might also be queer or into girls as well. So I kind of stayed a little bit too long, although I actually already wanted to leave. And then I like looked at every single book. Then I looked over to her and I was like, what can I say to her that I could like, we could maybe start a conversation and I could like maybe see if she might be into girls. But then even from then on, what would I do? And then I actually like tried to ask her for book recommendations. Anyways, end of the story is I left the place without anything. And I was like, okay, whatever. Another one lost. And then actually, like months later, yesterday, I went on Tinder because I wanted to delete Tinder because I was a bit tired of it. And then she showed up on my phone and I was like, oh my God. And then I super liked her. And then we matched and I was like, whoa. Hi. So nice. I don't know. I don't remember what I said, but I was like, oh, I just wanted to delete Tinder. Thankfully, I didn't. And then she answered me. She's like, something like, it's a nice aftermath validation after our encounter in that bookstore. And I was like, whoa, she remembers me.
remember. She was
So I'm
probably like
so
feeling the same. Like, who's this
Oh
cutie
my god, maybe I should
coming
be a
in?
little less excited since I might
Maybe.
go.
We'll find her name out soon.
Anyways, yeah.
Nice. But yeah, that was pretty much some of the things we felt awkward about
What?
before
Yeah.
sex.
It's
We
very
would have so
different.
many more things to
Yeah,
talk about,
we
but
had to
we
take
only have
some
like
things out.
we only have like an hour, so we
Yeah.
had to scream the cream. Is that how you say it?
I
No.
don't know.
Cool. Song time.
Okay, let's put the song. All right, the second segment is going to talk about awkwardness during the act. And to start off, well, during the act or before the act, I think hygiene is very important.
It's very awkward.
It can be very awkward, yes. And
I know.
yeah, I always tell this one anecdote from when I slept with this guy. And he came, and it was the summer, and he was like moving around all day in the sun, and then he came over to my place in the evening, and I could already smell the sweat, and then we started making out, and I think I licked either like his cheek or his shoulder, like my tongue touched some part of his upper body, and I was like, oh, it's so salty, and I could just like, I don't even want to know what's going on down there, you know? Like, you play around in the sun all day, but you have to go and wash yourself before you want to sleep with me.
Oh my god.
Especially if you want, yeah, I mean, no.
And
not
he was
okay.
fine.
Yeah, no. And then I was like, I think you need to shower, you know? And usually, I mean, I'm not like that direct always, but I was like, no, honestly, you need to shower. And he was like, haha, yeah, okay. And I was like, no, really, you have to, like, let's like, here's a towel. I took out the towel, and I was like, here's the towel. He's like, oh, you're serious? I was like, of course I'm serious.
Mm-hmm.
And but then I made it playful. Then I just like followed him in the shower, and then I looked at him while he was showering, and it was kind of sexy, so it doesn't have to be like scolding them.
And he was fine with that, actually.
Yeah, he was fine. And actually, ever since, he only comes really showered to my place. I can always, he always makes his hair, and I was like, yeah, nice.
Good smelly, nice.
Tadian.
I never got to that point, I think.
Did you have to tell them to go shower? Or?
No, I was never that brave. So I feel like if I noticed that something smelled weird, I don't know, I just wouldn't go down on them, for example.
Oh, okay.
And I remember I used to have sex with this guy for a while, and I felt his dick smelled all the time. Which was so, I don't know if it was like just his own smell or if he really wasn't cleaning himself properly. And I was just like, no. And I love blowjobs, but I was just like, no, I'm not gonna go there. And I just didn't feel like, I didn't feel comfortable telling him like, hey, because we weren't really like seeing each other, and he was very insecure, and I felt that would really hurt him. But maybe I should have said something about it.
Yeah, who was that again? No, just kidding. Let's call them out here. No, just kidding, guys. Don't worry, you can all sleep with us. We're not gonna call you out. No, but yeah, this. But my example was so extreme. He smelled like, he tasted like salt. Like it was okay to tell him, you know. But yeah, maybe when you have like more casual sex, then maybe it's a bit hard.
Yeah. And we feel so awkward about our own smells, right?
Yeah.
Like I remember the first time thinking of someone going down on me and being like, what do I taste like? What do I smell? Which is so weird. Like, of course, you have your own taste and you should be hygienically clean. Mm-hmm. But, you know, we have this so much. And guys are never like, oh, what do I taste like? What do I smell like? Who cares? You know?
I often, like, when I know that I might have someone going down on me, like, I go, every time I go to the bathroom, I, like, do a Katzenwäsche, we call it, in German. I always teach you some German words. It's like cat washing herself. It's not like a full shower. It's just like a little bit. Yeah. You know? And then, and sometimes I even taste myself. Yeah. Just before, you know? Just like, okay, all good. Sweet. I wouldn't go down on myself. Just kidding. No, it's a little different then, right? It's a little different. Down on yourself. No, we taste different than them.
Yeah, obviously. Them. And also differently depending on where you are in your cycle.
Ah, right, yeah.
Yeah.
we'll learn about that in another episode.
We will.
Mm-hmm.
So next is period sex.
Oh.
And that's not necessarily awkward in itself, or at least not for me anymore. But I think in one night stands, for example, it's been awkward for me to bring it up.
Yeah.
Like I would always wait the last possible moment to say, by the way, I'm on my period today.
Like all night you've been flirting.
Yeah.
He bought you dinner.
It's like, just so you know.
He walked all the way to your house, which is like on the other side of the city.
Exactly.
And then you're
that's when
in
you
your
pop it
bedroom.
out.
And then you're like, by the way.
By the way. And in itself, I think it's funny. The most awkward situation I had was when I slept with one of my friend's boyfriend's brother.
Ooh, who could that be? Narrow it
And
down.
we were so drunk. And I, again, didn't tell him about it until the last possible moment. And he was like, yeah, that's okay. That's fine.
That's so cool.
It was super cool.
Yeah.
And it was chill.
Love
But
those
like,
guys.
we made a huge mess. And the whole bed was like, it looked like a crime scene.
And it wasn't your
honestly.
apartment, right?
It was my friend's boyfriend's bed.
Oh!
And then the next day I was walking in my underwear with the towels and everything. I was like, I'm just doing laundry at 6 a.m. Oops. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a story that she likes to tell over and over again.
Oh, she does?
Yeah,
Oh,
of
no.
course.
Okay.
What was your period sex story? Because that's so selective.
Oh my god. I think it's something that it's something I put in a box and like locked it away for a while. I mean, it's not so dramatic, but I thought in
It's
the
so
moment,
funny.
I actually laughed at myself in the moment when it happened. I was like, I'm not gonna talk about this to anyone. But then the other day when we talked about awkward situation, I was like, oh yeah, right, that happened. No, actually, yeah, I had sex with this guy I was really having a massive crush on, and at that time I had a huge crush on him, and we went on kind of like dates, or we met each other for a while, not for a while, for a couple of times. And then actually the night came when I was at his place, and we had music playing, smoked some weed, we had some wine. We had it all laid out. It was so nice, and I was so excited. I was so nervous. It was like a really special night for me, kind of, because I was so into him. And then, but I was on my period. And the thing is, I didn't think I was gonna sleep with him that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to wait, but then it was like, it just got so heated, so I was like, okay. Anyways, but it was the end of my period, so it wasn't very heavy. And then so we got naked, like almost naked with my underwear, and then I was like, can you get some water or something? So he had to go downstairs in his house and then get the water. And then in the meantime, I was like, okay. And I had a tampon in, so I took it out, and I was like, but it was like, it wasn't a lot, right?
Yeah.
And then I took it out, and I was like, fuck, where do I put it? It's like white sheets all over. We're in this kind of like living room style room. There's no trash cans, nothing. And then my coat was hanging on a chair, and I was like, I just put the tampon in the pocket of my coat, just stuffed it in there, and I jumped back on the bed. When he came back, I was like, hello, I'm ready. And then so we had sex, and then in the end we were just laying there, enjoying ourselves. And then I got a little nervous because I couldn't really check in front of him, or like it was a bit awkward. We're talking about awkward sex, so that's. And then I asked him again to get some water. So he left, and then I looked down on me, and like I saw that some blood is coming, and I was like, "Fuck! What do? I can't just bleed around." And then I went back to my coat, took the tampon, and put it back in. And in the moment when I was doing it, I looked at the tampon, and I was like, wow, okay, I'm doing it. Man, all these stories that I have.
Just for not saying that you were on your period.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he probably noticed like on his dick or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah.
I wonder if he did. I don't know.
But how is it now? Do you still hide it, or do you actually say it more?
No.
openly?
I definitely don't hide it
No.
because there is no way to hide it. I think. Like, if it happens, then it's like, I don't want him to think that he's bleeding or something.
Yeah.
Because then they freak out. That happened to me once as well. when they freaked out when they saw some blood and they're like, oh my god, what happens with my dick?
Really?
Yeah,
Oh my
but
gosh.
it's just like in the beginning of the period.
Yeah, I'm actually waiting to get to that level, or like
What?
I never had someone to freak out like that, and probably no one would freak out at this point. Maybe they would. Maybe not the kind of people that we.
No,
go
I
out
mean,
with.
like, he didn't know that I was getting my period.
Okay. I
And then
thought
he
he
saw
was like-
blood. And then he was like, oh my god, I'm bleeding.
Yeah,
Like that.
actually,
Yeah.
I was seeing this guy who
Yeah.
was super kinky. Like he did
Yeah.
all the possible shit ever.
Yeah.
And then one day I was like, I'm on my period, and he's like, no, I don't do sex on period.
No.
Yeah. Don't you remember?
Is it the person who I think it is?
Yeah. I was so shocked.
What?
Yeah.
What's his reason?
I don't know. He said it was a bit gross.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
And I'm not seeing him anymore.
Mhm. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
Period. Yeah, no, I think now is fine. I think, again, it's also like a thing that you might want to do, or you would do maybe with a partner more naturally. But even like you had casual sex on the period, and I think it's super cool when a guy is cool with it.
Yeah.
And I heard it's like natural loop,
Yeah?
the blood.
For you? I'm not sure.
A little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like some more.
Liquid. Makes sense. No, I wanted to say something else, but I forgot, I think. Yeah. Do we edit this out?
No, we don't edit
Okay,
anything
cool.
out. We can't edit things out. We're not
what
capable
else?
yet. Yeah, what else can we say about periods? Do we have anything else?
No.
Okay.
I think it's
Should we
nice.
go to the next one?
Yeah.
Queefs.
Queefs. That's awkward sometimes. Though.
Queefs. So first of all, I didn't know it was called Queefs. Actually, I want to ask in our Instagram stories how many people know. Probably everyone knows about it.
Yeah.
Just
Because
me
they're all
now.
cool.
Yeah. But the other day we were calling it Queefs, and then my roommate was like, "It's called Queefs." Yeah, you're listening to it right now.
Hi, Oscar. But I used to call them vagina farts,
Yay.
which is fine, right?
Yeah. It doesn't sound that sexy.
No,
But it's like squirt, queef. Like, who invented those things?
right? Probably men.
Yeah.
No, but I still okay. So first of all, I didn't know anything about them before, like because obviously you don't see that in porn, and if you don't, I guess before Instagram and before I got into this whole like sex positivity and educational stuff, I had no clue. So like the first time I experienced that, I was like, "What is that?" And I felt the urge of saying, "It's my pussy." It's not a fart. It's my pussy.
It's not my butthole.
And I felt so awkward. The first time I was red. I think I was like, whoa. And then you know how you like, maybe sometimes you move and then it just happens. And you can't control it.
Because it's just some air coming out, right?
Yeah. I was just like, and then I was laughing and then it kept starting again. So that was really awkward to start with.
Yeah.
But you never experienced it?
I haven't for a very, very long time. I don't remember the last time I did. Maybe I've had it a few times with my first boyfriend. But after, I've never experienced it.
No.
Yeah, I'm lucky, actually.
But I think it also depends from the guy.
Yeah.
If you have penetrative sex. I think it's... Like, I had one guy specifically with whom I had it all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes it was so loud. And I was so
Do you think it's the shape of his dick?
Yeah, probably. And, like, how the position and how much air you let in as well. Which was funny. But now it's just, like, fun.
Is it? I think if it
Yeah.
would happen to me now, I would still feel so awkward.
Yeah.
I
In
think that
casual
would-
sex?
No, even with my...
Even with your boyfriend? No.
No, okay, no, not with my boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about farts then?
No way. I would fucking die. I would run out of the room, kill myself.
Yeah. It never
We
happened
talk about
to
sex
me.
positivity here, but farts are not okay, guys.
No, farts are fine. I just
Have you ever farted?
No. I
Has
also
your
never-
partner ever farted?
No. Not that I
Let me
know of.
think. I mean, I definitely heard my partner fart a lot. But honestly,
But during
I have
sex?
never. No, not during sex.
No, that's what I meant.
No. But I mean, before or something, you know,
Right,
or like maybe
before.
after.
Okay.
No, but I mean,
Okay.
you know who you are.
I think we're making people feel very uncomfortable.
No. We're making it like the more we talk about it.
Yeah, so many people are so
It's
awkward
just
about
the
farts.
fart, guys.
Like farts are such
Just
a
some
huge deal
air.
for
as
many
long as they
people.
don't smell, otherwise you're out.
No, that's very discriminating.
Against what?
Against
Against your diet.
Yeah, but it's not just okay. Whatever, that's another topic.
But actually, we can talk about this. This maybe not in the act, but we have.
No, we don't have time.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Yeah, we do. We have timed everything. Oh yeah, we don't have time. Let's move on.
Okay, you move on to the next one.
Okay, so the next one is actually very sensitive topic as well, because it's erection issues versus or also premature ejaculations versus never-ending sex.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, erection issues.
So like it's hard to talk about it because we don't experience it ourselves, but it's more something that can sometimes be awkward in casual sex, or not awkward per se, but just something that maybe you could feel you're not really able to deal with
because
if it's not someone you're close with.
Yeah, exactly. And if you've never experienced someone having an not getting a boner or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then like this is not something that we've been taught.
No.
Right? We like us women, sometimes we're dry, but they don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, if they care, then they make you wet. But no, I mean, you know, you can still have sex with lube or whatever. But if you can't get a hard on, then that is just also something that we need to be sensitive about. And how do you do it? Like, you know, because in like I remember in Sex and the City there was one episode where Samantha, the queen, finally fell in love with a guy because she's only fucking around, right? So she finally fell in love with a guy, and it's so perfect, and she's waiting to have sex with him because he's so perfect, and she wants to make it super special. Then, I'm actually okay. Sorry for Sex and the City fans,
but I'm quoting Sex and the City.
I'm actually confused. It was the other one, but I don't remember her name. Doesn't matter. But anyways, this guy, he couldn't get a hard on, and she was giving it all. She was just like, you know, she was just giving him the best hand job, learning about new techniques, giving him the best blowjob, whatever. But he was just laying in bed, and he was like, just give it up, just let it let it go. And I think that might be the first. That like a lot of people might think, a lot of girls might think that this could be like
about
the first thing that you like.
Or...
No, more like, oh, how can I make it hard?
Yeah.
But sometimes you just have to give it time.
But that also goes back to this idea of performativity.
Yeah.
And performance, and like also what is sex? Is sex just penetrative sex?
Yeah.
So like it doesn't necessarily matter sometimes, right? You can do other stuff. You can kiss. You can. Take it easy sex. And slow and whatever, right? Maybe they can focus on you instead. And I think just the awkward fact is when you maybe are in a casual encounter and you know that that's what you want to do. Like you just want to have sex and then it doesn't happen. And then you don't know the person and you're like, it's okay. Or like the first time I was like, I have no idea how to do it. Like I was just like saying like, oh, it's fine, just come here.
And it was a casual encounter for you, right?
Yeah. And I was like, just come here, it's okay. And then I just like tried and it worked somehow, but I also felt maybe it was me, you know, this idea that maybe it's because they're not attracted to me or something, which is not the case. Like
it might actually be the exact opposite. Maybe they're so nervous
and just want to perform in many different ways. So yeah, it's just awkward because you don't really know how to act, maybe
because it is kind of so important how you react. Because it can hurt the person.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know.
And I think just saying that it doesn't matter and there's no goal, no expectation as well sometimes helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time.
But you had a story about premature ejaculation.
Yeah, so premature ejaculations, I have a story. And it's funny when we talk about it. We don't want to make fun of it.
No.
Just to say, yeah. So I was kind of hanging out with this dude, and we went on a couple of dates, and then I didn't even know we were gonna have sex. But then we got drunk one night, and then we ended up at his place, and we were listening to music, and then I was like, okay, let's go to your bedroom. So we started making out, blah blah blah. Then I took off his pants, and he was hard, and then I wanted to give him a blowjob, so I went down on him, but literally, and it was so crazy. I've never experienced that. Was like the only time I've ever experienced it. Like I think I didn't even touch him. Like I barely even touched him, and he just came, and it was like, phew, he just came, and I was like, oh my god. I don't know, what does that mean? I've never seen that, like, a person come so fast from like nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, okay, that's fine. I mean, I was like, I think we didn't say anything, so we just continued making out, and then we laid down in the bed, and then we made out, and like maybe 10-15 minutes later, he started getting hard on again, and then I just wanted to like slowly touch him again, and again. Not even a second of touching his penis with my hand, he came again. And I think he said something like, oops. And I was like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. Oh my god.
Yeah.
How do it, like, because then
that was, and he didn't say like, can I do something for you, or?
No, I mean, we were making out, and he was really sweet.
But but he was a bit awkward.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he didn't ask me to go down on him, or he didn't actually ask me.
Ah, okay.
Like we were both. It was kind of on both sides, but yeah. But then I just didn't know what to. No, I think I said like, oh, it's okay. But I think I felt also like he didn't want to really address it, or he didn't want to say it out loud, or like talk about it. Like maybe just kind of let's
so he probably
brush it off. Pretend it didn't happen, and then we made out for a little bit more, and then I just said, okay, I think I'm gonna go home. But yeah.
But it's awkward because you didn't maybe talk about it as well, or like
no, we never talked about it afterwards. And actually we never met afterwards. But I have one thing that I found for premature ejaculations. So what it is when you ejaculate too early during intercourse or sexual activity before you wish to ejaculate. It affects up to 39% of men at some point in their life, and it can occur for a variety of reasons, ranging from psychological causes to physical triggers. Yeah. So it's quite common. Yeah. One of the most common things for guys.
But similarly to like erection issues, it's again, there's no performativity around it, and there can be some other things done. Maybe cuddles,
exactly.
Kisses, I don't know.
It's not about.
It's
not always about penetration. You have your lips, you have your hands. Yeah.
But
you can also use toys.
Yeah. Exactly.
On each other.
Yeah. It is so awkward when you can really address it and talk about it.
Yeah, I think addressing it, like if there is such an elephant in the room and you don't talk about it, it just creates such a heavy burden on yourself and also on your partner. So I think just addressing it
just makes such a difference.
Yeah. And then lastly, no, maybe we don't have time for this part.
Music break.
Music break. All right, and to our last segment of today's episode, the awkward aftertaste. So awkwardness that can arise after you have
sex.
Yeah, after sex, after you have finished or whatever.
And again, there's so many things you could talk about. Yeah. But for the interest of time, we only picked two of the most awkward. Maybe not.
We'll just start talking.
But the ones that came up.
Exactly.
Okay, the one you came up with was the dirty talk
after effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think often, so for me, dirty talk is part of my sexual routine as well as for you, right? And I think when you're in the moment, it's really common that you really get caught up in the heat of the moment of, you're super horny, you have all these fantasies shooting up in your brain, and you speak them out loud, and all of a sudden it just gets, I don't know, maybe a little
too far
in whatever sense it could be, right?
Yeah.
Too kinky, or I don't know. And then you finished, and then you look at each other, or you don't look at each other, and then you realize what you've just said, and would you have said it if you wouldn't have been having sex, you know? It's kind of like when you drink alcohol or when you're on drugs, sometimes you say things that you wouldn't if you're sober. It's the same as, you know, when you're having sex.
Yeah.
So you might say some crazy shit, and then afterwards you just have to deal with it. But I think it's funny. Like, with my boyfriend, I think we went quite far sometimes with our storytelling in bed. But it was always something to laugh at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you say afterwards then?
Okay, right. Yeah, so sometimes we talk about having sex with other people that we know, and then we kind of, you know, make it very forbidden.
Yeah.
And then we finish, and then we look at each other and we're like, are we actually gonna do it? No, I don't know. I don't know. Are we doing it? No, I don't know.
No.
And the next time when we have sex and we bring up the same fantasy, and we're so in it, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. And then again after sex, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I want it.
And it's also probably better in your head than it is in real life if it would actually happen, you know.
Yeah.
And I think, well, we'll have an episode about dirty talk and fantasies soon, so we'll save some juice for that.
Yeah.
But the second one we found was sending someone home afterwards. And actually, we were talking to one of our friends the other day, and she was like, yeah, I had sex with this guy, and it was really awful, and I really didn't like him, and I couldn't send him home, so he stayed and slept in my bed, and I couldn't sleep all night, and it was really bad, but I just didn't feel good about saying, okay, sure, you should leave now. So that's awkward.
That's awkward.
Do you feel it's awkward now for you to say
I mean, honestly, I don't do sleepovers. No. I just don't do it. Only with boyfriends, or maybe someone I really like or already spent some time with for a while. But otherwise, I always tell them, I mean, not always, but most of the time when I feel like they are expecting maybe to stay over, or this might get late and they live a little bit too far away to just, you know, go around the corner and hop into their bed. So I tell them right from the start.
Yeah.
I tell them in advance when we start undressing or whatever. I'm like, just so you know, I don't do sleepovers. I'm gonna send you home. And actually, one time, I told him from the beginning, you can't sleep here, and he knew that as well about me. And then I forgot how far he lives, and then we kind of, you know, ended up giving each other massages and being all cuddly, and then I think he even fell asleep for a little bit. And then I was like, okay, it's time to go home. And he's like, oh, I thought maybe you might have changed your mind. I was like, no. Because I care about my sleep so much, and I'm not going to be able to sleep next to him.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So, my bad.
So it's not awkward.
My bad, my rules.
Actually, you inspired that in me. Like right now, I don't do sleepovers because of my relationship agreement. But also before that, when I was single, I didn't want to do sleepovers anyways. And I would also say, no sleepovers rule. But sometimes it does happen, and it never really felt awkward. Did it feel awkward? But I can see how it feels awkward for people to just say, like, okay,
just say it.
Out. You have to go home now. And I feel, still, if I went out and then it was like 3 or 4, I wouldn't feel like sending someone home, you know? Maybe I should have, but it's just like cruel. Isn't that?
Yeah. But honestly, I do it the other way around as well. I once had sex with a couple of years ago, and he was really living outside of town, like so far away. And here we bike everywhere, so it's like also physically exhausting if you have to bike home all the way for like 40 minutes. And it was 3 a.m, and we had sex, and I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna go home. He's like, what? No, you're gonna stay here. And I was like, okay, he's right. This is crazy. I should try to sleep here. I tried. It didn't work.
No.
At 4, I was like, okay, I'm out of here. And he's like, you're fucking crazy. I was like, I know.
Bye.
No.
And he's out. Yeah, makes sense. One more thing was like the touching and cuddling after sex.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that comes very natural to me, even in casual hookups. At least like caressing each other or having like an aftercare sort of thing.
I like this word.
Yeah. But this summer I went to Florence to see this guy that I was talking to a lot. And we had sex. And then afterwards, like he was just lying on the edge of the bed, like super far away from me. Like he didn't want to be close to me at all.
After you finished.
Yeah, it was like, bye, you know. And I was like, what? And I was like, trying to reach to him, like,
but that shows how that like more of his awkwardness, you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But I felt so awkward just trying to go for it and him not doing anything, and then I was like, rejection. Okay, I'm just gonna like crawl in my side of the bed and that's it. So that was quite awkward.
But actually, you know, I was just thinking about the sending people home and not doing the sleepovers.
Yeah,
I think it's like, for me, I think it's partially also because I want to avoid awkwardness in the morning.
Oh yeah,
especially with casual people.
Oh yeah,
like you know, then they expect to have breakfast with you or something.
No,
I don't know.
Really?
I don't know.
Ew.
That's my idea of it, actually. I actually don't know because I never do it. But I don't want to. And also, like, you know, in the morning, you want to go to the bathroom, you want to wash your face. You don't want this guy having there who you had like really hot sex with maybe the previous night. Like, no. This is going to be kept separately.
Yeah. Life and sex is different.
Yeah.
Cool. But what have we learned about this? You wanted to have some final...
My final words is sex is awkward, guys.
Just embrace
Always going to be awkward. Just embrace it. Everyone experienced something, as you can see from our stories. Yeah. We're waving into the camera.
No one is watching, though.
No one's watching. No, it's fine.
Cool.
They're going to listen to us on Spotify.
Well, we're out.
Yeah, we're out.
Thank you so much for listening. We will come back after Christmas break.
All right, yeah.
We'll find out when
this was the season finale.
Season finale. Next season, we want to do a lot of interviews, bring a lot of other perspectives in. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, we have a lot of good plans in store for you guys.
In the meantime, follow us on the social media accounts.
Account.
Instagram, there we set it _podcast, where we will update you. And we will definitely produce content over Christmas.
Yep. Make
some plans. Send us questions, ideas for more topics.
Feedback.
We love feedback.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, guys.
Happy
Merry Christmas
New Year.
and Happy New Year. See you soon.
Bye.